25 plus shots, 6 on target. Arsenal have won 2 goals to 1 against Brighton, and it's still David Raya who arguably is the man of the match and saved the day. Oh, maybe one day we'll make it easier for ourselves. But to those of you that are on my platform on a consistent basis, this is what I mean by we could either be our own best friends or our worst enemies. Can we please, boys, have an easy game? Don't get it twisted. 3 points is what we need to do. We need to navigate this December and January period doing what we need to do, picking up points, keeping the talking points between us and City and fighting for the league alive. And we did that. You know, we didn't keep a clean sheet. I still think we're conceding some cheap goals. Big up Gabriel Magalhaes for returning. Maybe that puts a stop to it. And it's a weird game, man, car. I just feel there's warning signs. I don't feel I learned, like in this current cluster of games, I don't think I learned anything isolated to the Brighton game that I haven't been saying for the last couple of weeks and things of that ilk. I'll take the 3 points, but we need to go up the gears. You need to kill teams. No one's going to give you 3 points in this Premier League. As long as it stays 1-0, as much as it's a famous chant and you can't win 3, 4, 5s and all of those things, when you're on top of sides, you need to kill them. Now, going into this, Brighton, I think, had their last 4 games, their form was a bit shaky. We haven't actually got one of the best records with Brighton at the Emirates. I personally believe away from home, there's several gears to go up. I feel at home we've been good. We've had some good memories, some good games, some good performances, even when we wanted to see a bit more. So we have to kind of play on that. We know what Brighton are about, people. We know their manager or their managers over the years, always innovative. They've got good players. Yeah, they've got injuries, but they're not little fish in this. They're not just going to sit around like little boys and like lambs to the slaughter, really. So I was very impressed with the start. You know, opening 10 minutes, we could have had several goals. That first half, we could have killed them. Several opportunities. Obviously, big up Ødegaard. That's what we need to see from Ødegaard. Great goal. I just think he had I think that's his best game of the season, if I'm honest with you. I think Ødegaard really played well. You know, we did well. We're getting in behind. We're threatening. We're banging on the door. Saka looked like he had the bit between his teeth. I think Trossard was doing his thing. Ødegaard was purring. Declan Rice is playing as a right back, but he's still up and down, up and down. We're doing what needs to be. We're doing what we need to do, really and truly. You know, big up own goal, because you might be the best signing that we've had recently. You know, you struggled at the beginning of the season to get game time, but own goal's doing a lot for us. So yeah, obviously we had a lot of chances. We could have killed them in the first half, but Ødegaard's got our goal. Great. Second half, this is what I'm talking about, because we were on top of Brighton. You know, we were all over them. But as long as it's 1-0, nobody can tell me Premier League managers, they're going to talk about tactics with their players and all of these things, but they're going to say at some point at halftime, boys, it's 1-0. Go and have an opportunity. This isn't me trying to hate on my club, but naturally, we're one of the best defensive teams in the Prem and in Europe. Haven't defended to those standards. So Brighton are probably sitting there thinking, raw, if we can get another goal, if we can get a goal, maybe heads drop, all of these kind of things, people. So when Declan Rice has put that ball into the box from a set piece and he's got the second, you know, Rutter's put it through his own net. This is probably why you don't want strikers in those positions. I'm laughing. I don't even think it was the best of deliveries by Declan Rice, but it was the best on the day. I think his delivery needed a lot to be desired. And you know what, generally, yeah, isolated to Brighton and also in general, we're nowhere near where we can be in the final third in creativity and creating and goals in abundance and all of these things. As you guys know, people, we knew that last season. We've known that this season, and things of that ilk. But I feel if you look at the Wolves game to now, we are creating chances. It's more of a chance conversion thing in which they say scoring goals is the hardest thing to do in football, and we're making that ring true. Whoever said that, never told no lies, people. We're not converting the half chances. We're not putting daylight. Well, we are, because we scored 2, but we're not putting daylight between the two sides. At best, we should be crying about conceding a goal. We've scored 4-5-1. The game should have been put to bed in that first half. Ultimately, we've gone 2 goals up. It becomes 2-1. Shoddy bit of defending from us. It starts to get a bit nervous. They brought on Mitai and Welbeck, and we're thinking, oh, what's going on kind of here type of thing, innit? What's happening here? And then obviously, big up David Raya for that save. Big up David Raya. And to be fair with you, I did like how, again, I didn't learn this with my team this game, innit? But we can muck in, like we can get the result done. I'm seeing everybody defending like troops, you know, making smart fouls where you can, you know, I'm exaggerating, but the right winger might obviously, you know, track back in the left back position. We're mucking in. When Magalhaes came on, it made me a bit more confident, but you're always a bit nervy, man. And at some point I was thinking, how are we not putting the ball in the back of the net between the two halves? Like, I think we had 15, 16 shots in the first half. We ended the game with like 20 odd. we need to start turning the possession, the chance creation, the statistics, and the eye test with what we see in it, putting teams to bed. That kind of ruthless streak, whether we've got key players on or not. People, Gyökeres, I think he did all right. He hit the post. Ultimately, every time Gyökeres doesn't score, there's that question, and it feels like there's some Gyökeres chances that are put into our box when Gyökeres isn't necessarily on the field. Naturally as well, man. Like, I don't even want to get too much into it, but it seems like the rumors rang true around Timber not being available. Obviously, we never saw him. Calafiori apparently went down in the warm-up. I don't know, because Arteta's come out and said, he picked up the injury yesterday. So Miles Lewis-Skelly, he did all right as well, made his first start. Declan Rice is at right back. It was quite interesting. I think Zubamendi had a decent game. But even that, Zubamendi, Saka, Gyökeres, Martinelli in that second half. And there's a bunch of half chances. And I know we're not going to score 1 million goals, but the law of averages suggests we should have scored a lot more than 2. And I shouldn't have seen my keeper, David Raya, with a save of the season contender. So it's not even a negative thing. It's just positives, 3 points, scored the goals. On the balance of things, we deserved it. Started well. We knew City. We had to approach this game anyways, expecting City to beat Nottingham Forest. And that obviously rang true. As much as the players and the team needs to focus on themselves, they obviously knew. So it's just about getting the result. It's a quick turnaround to Aston Villa. For obvious reasons, revenge needs to be on the menu. And I will say, respectfully to Brighton, Villa, owing to their form and what they're doing, if the game was to be a carbon copy, like the first half of Brighton at home was a carbon copy of Aston Villa at home, it needs to be 3, 4, 5 in that first half, because Villa, with their quality, we've definitely seen it at the Emirates, they'll put us to the sword. But, there's several improvements. I feel there's warning signs. Football's decided at both ends, conceded another cheap goal, gave a bit of optimism to the other opposition for no reason. 2 goals was enough on the day-to-day people via the own goal and the set piece and obviously Ødegaard, but we can score more. So we need to chase the illusion of perfection. We know we're not in our final form. We know who is chasing us in Manchester City. So being good is not being good enough, but it's another game week. We stay at the top. We keep moving. Quick turnaround for against Aston Villa. And I don't need to tell you the period of games that we've just come off and what we're entering. You know what? We're playing Villa. Then in no order, Villa, Bournemouth, I'm sure Liverpool. The games are coming thick and fast, people. So we need to make it happen. Just want to make sure I haven't missed out anything, because you know me, I'm always writing notes and things of that ilk, people. As I said, it was a silly goal to concede. We need to learn to finish our dinner. I did like when Martinelli and Jesus came on, because I was calling for that. I'm a bit surprised Saka played 90 minutes. I think he was decent, bit greedy today, but I'm not complaining. Bit surprised. Would have even loved some cameo minutes from Madueke, which they're hard to come by, man. And as I said, for me, I genuinely couldn't believe the chances we were missing. So I think we probably had a good 60 minutes. We had a great 45 minutes in that first half. An okay kind of period in the second, and unnecessarily, maybe for us fans, maybe not the players, but for us fans, unnecessarily nervy, kind of close to the game, which it shouldn't have been. But the main thing is 3 points. That's all you need to get on the board. That's how you win trophies, people. So yeah, we're doing what needs to be done, man, and you won't catch me complaining in that regard. Have I got anything else that I haven't obviously spoke about? The massive thing as well, I want to say as well, is that I'm happy to see Magalhaes back. Thought Kai might sneak a place into the squad. Quite concerned with Timber and Calafiori, if I'm honest with you, because Benjamin White, Mascara, I don't need to tell any Arsenal fan listening about the landscape of injuries. Still no excuse by hook or by crook. We need to do what we're doing. I did feel Brighton tried to cut off passing lanes and it didn't work. And I was impressed with our pressing. That led to obviously Ødegaard scoring and things of that ilk. So Arteta won the tactical battle against his counterpart. The players won their individual battles. Their main thing is 3 points. Then yeah, we just keep it moving, man. But on another day, football's decided at both ends. You got to finish your dinner. Because I don't want to be that guy, but you always have to thank the Lord for your blessings, but also consider, what if Rice never, created that own goal and it's 1-0 and all the other things are happening and they've obviously finished and, they finished their dinner and it ends 1-1. You get what I'm saying? On another day, not just, Gyökeres, Saka, Martinelli, Gabriel Jesus, Zubamendi, the list goes on. There was a lot of chances, people. I'm not digging out anyone individually, but just got to finish your dinner. But if you offered me a 2-1 victory with no context about Brighton, I would have bit your arm off for that. Same way I'll do that off the bat immediately against Villa. So we keep it moving, man. What did you lot make of the game, though? Always like